Hey guys, so this video is actually a highlight video from a live stream that I did right here on this very YouTube channel. The other day, that live stream was about 2 hours and 20 minutes long of an online poker session. So this video is a highlight reel of all the biggest hands that took place during that session, as well as like some of the more interesting discussions that I had with the audience during that stream. So check out the video, let me know what you think. I might just do like a weekly highlight video instead of like a daily highlight video. Since the live poker vlogs are gonna be paused for a little while, I do wanna try and stream somewhat regularly. If I could do like 5 days a week, that sounds like it might be pretty good. And I'm gonna keep them a little bit on the shorter side, between 2 and 3 hours. I think that's kind of ideal. But check out this video, let me know what you think. It's an experiment for now, switching it up, trying some things. Check it out.
All right, what's up guys? Welcome back, happy Friday. 3 days in a row, a live stream for 3 days in a row. We're gonna hang out here for a couple of hours, another casual 2 hour or so-ish stream. And then I'm gonna skedaddle out of here for tacos with the missus. Here's the 4-table matrix. Grandpa, add some PLO action, please. Next time, next session, I'll switch it up a little bit. We'll switch it up. We got 4 tables of the 25-50 cent going on. We flop a double gutter down here. I don't want to just check it. Size it up. I guess we could just check it. We don't have... This guy doesn't have too much money here. But hey, we'll take it down with 10 high. That works too. Question is, how am I enjoying online? It's nice to take a break, despite not being an expert at this by any stretch. I think I will probably enjoy the break a little bit. It's not the. I was talking about this last night. It's definitely not under the best circumstances. That goes without saying. So, would never have to rely on a goddamn pandemic to take a break. It is kind of hard to force yourself to take a break as a content creator, just because the audience is always waiting for the next video to drop. And you're your own boss and all that stuff. So it's hard to, even though you are your own boss, when you want the channel to keep growing, when you want to keep earning money, it's hard to take a break when those things don't really happen when you're not working. So a little bit of a break from the live grind, a break from the meetup games, switch it up here, hang out with you guys on live streams, should be okay. Since this guy doesn't have very much money, and since this guy I have him tagged as somewhat loose, I'm just going to bet this, even though it's not a great flop versus 2 opponents especially. But I don't think I'm going to fold in this exact instance. Probably could have bet bigger, actually. I'm going to call, and then if the next card is not a 7 or a 9, probably just get it in. Now we turn a gutter as well. So I am just going to get it in. Check, check. I think I'm just going to check again. Queens are good versus top pair, top kicker. Some case to be made for getting it in on the flop there, or attempting to get it in on the flop there. Starting balance. We need to make note of the starting balance. The balance at the moment, even though we've just played a bunch of hands, $4,094. So try and remember that, $4,094, and then we'll see where we end up after a couple more hours of play. Why do you grind 25-50 cent when you easily crack 5-10? Isn't that wasting your time? Fair question. Talked about this the past couple nights. Somewhat pretty similar situation here. We have a player who I have marked as somewhat loose, player over here who doesn't have too much of a stack size, versus that on this. I'm just going to flat, see what this guy wants to do. Should be a pretty good turn card. I'm probably not going to fold. We have aces, and it's a very draw heavy board. Don't really love the bet sizing. We could be beat, but we have aces, and I have them marked, like I said, as somewhat loose, aggressive. So it is what it is, and what it is a straight. Ace is no good. On to the next hand. off we go. Getting back to the online poker question, why am I playing 25-50 cent? Because as previously mentioned, I suck at online poker, and also equivalent stakes are the stakes online compared to live, they're nowhere near equivalent. So like this 25-50 cent game probably plays pretty similar to like a 2-5 no limit game, especially on WSOP. Granted, there have been a lot of new online poker players, I think, during this stretch. The player pools have grown, so I think the games should improve somewhat. Online poker is much tougher than live poker. Now, I think I can do okay in a 25-50 cent game. I think I can do okay in a 50-cent dollar game. I could probably do okay in a 1-2 game online. I don't know how good my win rate in 1-2 no limit is going to be online. 200 NL, as they call it, as the kids call it. We'll see. We'll try it out. We'll see how I do. I don't have high hopes for me, but I'm a live poker player, and it's not like if you play live 5-10, then you can just beat online 5-10. It just doesn't work like that. It doesn't equate. So we get 4-bet down here with this hand. I accidentally 4-bet too small because I wasn't paying attention, and I had to push something quickly. So I'm just going to call and look to try and get it in on the flop. Although we do have $50 left. Could keep the slow play on. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to raise it up. He's never going to have any sixes, or he shouldn't. Hardly ever, I guess. I guess he could 4-bet with 5-6 or 6-7. We're never going to have too many sixes either. Oy. That's unfortunate. It's hard to win with aces, you know? These pocket aces. Kind of tough. But we're going to try again. Let's try again. Let's see. This is a 3-bet pot. I could bet this, but I think I'm just going to check it for pot control. It's a little weird that he wouldn't c-bet this flop. So I open on the button. And I don't think this guy was dealt in yet. So small blind, big blind. This guy 3-bet from the big blind. Flop goes 9 high and he checks. I am going to call. Pretty safe run out if we had the best hand. But it's not always the case that we had the best hand. So he could easily still have an overpair, but I don't think we'll be able to fold after we check back on the flop. Expect him to jam this river a lot. I don't think we can do too much about it, even though it should be a better run out for me. Let's see. Well, we don't block any draws. We don't block any flush draws. I think with red 10-9, we're just gonna have to call it off. I don't know this player. No real history. We have top pair, and it's only 100 big blind stack. So after the flop goes check, I think we're just kind of screwed. See, aces win sometimes. They can win sometimes. Well played. We can try and find a fold there. It's just like, I think when we don't have any blockers to the draws, that we're just kind of in a tough situation. We're just gonna have to go with it. I think I'm just gonna let the king queen go. Oh, never mind. Now I'm gonna squeeze. Since I was originally just gonna fold versus the under the gun player, and we still could be up against a strong range here. Expect to get 4-bet sometimes. In which case we can just happily fold king queen off. But once this guy calls, I think there's more value in putting in the squeeze. One-third pot size bet. If we turn equity, we can just jam it. If we turn nothing, we can fold. We do turn equity, so I think there's a decent chance we're going to get snapped off again here. But it is what it is. Once again. Aces? How do these people keep finding aces and winning with them? I don't understand. How is it a thing to keep winning with aces, to keep losing with aces while everyone wins with them? All right, I'm gonna give that guy the rock because he keeps showing up with like nothing but big pairs. Keep running into some tough spots with these pairs. Can't fold tens. Can't fold tens on this flop either. What do you know? Pocket aces. Online poker, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, we're going to come back. I don't care if it takes me all night. We're going to come back from this this first 30-minute debacle of aces galore. David K wants to know, how much are you up on these low stakes online poker so far? Which stream are you watching? Hey, look, we won a hand. What's up, Hesh? How's it going, man? Call with the tens. Not a great turn card. I'm actually just going to let this go, I think, because I'd expect him to check back with a lot of hands that we have beat. I'd expect him to check back with a lot of hands like ace-7. Three ways I think we have to fold. This would be interesting if it gets to showdown. Okay, well, we had that beat, but not on the river. And we did not have the other guy beat anyway. So we were losing to 6-3 on the turn and Jack-7 on the river. And I guess we should have 3-bet pre-flop if these are the two hands that we're getting in there. Can't fold the king-queen, so it's only a matter of 4-betting versus flatting. I think in the hijack, flatting makes more sense. Flopping trips makes sense. I think raising makes sense. He decides to 3-bet. He decides to 3-bet the flop, which is very bizarre. So I'm all in here. If he has ace queen, God bless it. I guess we have some outs. Okay, we'll take a chop. I'll happily take a chop. I mean, what? What? Moving on. See about the pocket kings on the driest flop of all time. That win feels pretty good. So yeah, we talked about this a little bit last night. Like when you play an online poker session, it definitely takes a lot of getting used to if you're predominantly a live poker player. The thing is, like, you're seeing so many more hands, especially when you're playing 4 tables and 6 backs. It's like the amount of hands that you're going to see compared to a live 9-handed game is just incredibly, vastly different. So the amount of things that you're going to see through that stretch of hands, which is a ton of hands, you're going to see things across the board, meaning you're going to see good hands in good situations. You're going to see your good hands cracked. You're going to see coolers in your direction. You're going to see coolers in the other direction. And you're just going to have to ride that wave up and down, up and down, up and down. Hopefully long-term up, but you're going to see a lot of shit, basically. Kramer Poker says, I think your RFI size is too high for online poker. I was actually wondering when someone was going to bring that up. The lower stakes you play in online poker, the higher the rake is a factor. So if you are going to play a pot, I think you either want to win pre-flop more often or you want the pot to be bigger. The rake gets maxed out anyway because it gets capped at a certain point. I don't know what it is at 25.50. I should look it up. But basically you want to be playing bigger pots. The bigger the pot size, the smaller the rake is a percentage of because it gets capped at a certain point. So you don't really want to be playing a ton of like small and medium-sized pots because you're just going to get raked to death. And rake is a very important consideration in low stakes online poker. It's also a consideration in like 1-2 games, but not quite as much as it is in these games. So basically you want to be playing a little bit tighter and you want to raise bigger in the lower stakes. When you get up into maybe the next stake up, maybe 50 cents, $1, or definitely by 1-2, it becomes less of an issue. And then you can start coming in for like 2.2 or 2.5 maybe. But I think in this stake, you want to raise bigger and just pot it. Those are my thoughts. I didn't come up with all this on my own. I came up with this via somebody who has a training site actually. And the site is based around solvers, and it's sort of like an intro to solver work because your guy here is not going to have a lot of time on his hands, although these times are different times. But previously, I don't have a lot of time to like go through solvers and solutions and etc. So anyway, training site is called Overnight Monster. And if you go to my website, there's a discount code for that training site. And it's really interesting. It's been pretty eye-opening as far as like some different lines to take in hands and the effect of Rake. It's extremely important how much it affects your win rate, and it affects how you should play poker actually, because that's how important it is. It affects like which hands you should play, because the hands that are like borderline profitable become unprofitable in a high Rake environment. That's how much Rake affects your win rate. And it affects your win rate by making those borderline profitable hands unprofitable and minus EV. And when I say borderline unprofitable, I mean a hand like something like 6-8 suited from under the gun. That would probably be unprofitable in this Rake structure. I'm still going to play it because YOLO and stream and all that stuff. But check it out. Check out the site. I have a discount code for the site on my site, andrewneeme.com. If you go to the first blog post called What I'm Studying, you can grab a discount for that training site and get your learn on if you're so inclined. If you don't feel like getting your learn on, that's fine too. It's a pretty good flop. Good turn card. I'm going to size it up here like we would with a naked ace. Love to see it. We're all in. Good luck, noobish dude. Cooler situation. As mentioned, online poker, you're going to see pretty much everything. You're going to see the bad and the good in one session, over and over again. Raise it up the queens. Pretty good flop. Happy to see him continue. Gonna check it this time. Gonna put in the race. No love. Could check call. Look to get it in on the river. Three bet button versus cutoff. Flop a gutter and 2 overs. The show stealer. How do you prevent someone from watching your stream and playing against you? Are you on a big delay? We're on a 3.5 minute delay. I'm gonna 2-barrel this. Consider betting the river on diamonds. If he jams, it sucks. Just have to let it go, I think. Could definitely check it back, since we have some showdown value versus hands like ace-jack. Brick City on the river. I don't think we have enough to jam. I would much prefer to overbet jam. I don't think we're deep enough, and he decides to jam instead, which is really weird on a 6. But I mean, I guess he can have 8-9. It's possible. It sucks that we have a diamond now, but I'm just gonna let it go. Yep, Twitch says I recommend winning when you have aces more than losing. Fair enough. So oddly enough, this is actually a 4-bet pot. I'm just going to flat call here, call quickly, and call the jam. versus kings, which is kind of standard. Pretty good situation. Flopping top pair, top kicker. Wow. I just ran a straight into the nut straight. But the good news is we have the nuts over here. All right, we're going to 4-bet the ace king. So we have ace king on 2 different hands, and we're going to be getting all in with this one, at least. Flop 2 overs and a flush draw, turn and over. Okay, we win that one. Think I'll be ripping it. Since it's only, there's $24 in the middle and we only have $40. So I don't think we have too much choice. It's not a great flop and I expect him to call with all of his pairs, but just shutting it down there doesn't seem great either. Good bet, Neeme, he says. Raise the 10s over limper. Kyle Volkman, $4.99. Do you have any plans to play some of the great game? I love these streams. Yeah, we'll get in there. We'll be in there. We get 3-bet, holding the 10s. I'm just going to get it in. We're going to be flipping a lot of the time. Don't want to give this guy great odds to call behind. We are flipping. So far, so good. Still good. Still good. We'll take it. All right. So we win a couple of stacks back. Up to $150 on that table. Flop a flush draw on this table. After we isolate with a king 6 versus a limper. Turn top pair. I think we can check it. The one card we didn't really want to see on the river. I'm still going to call though because he should be checking this card a lot. He can pretty easily float us with like ace jack or ace queen. And it sucks that we block flush draws, but it's only a half pot size bet. And it just seems weird for him to lead out, but he's going to have it sometimes for sure. Would have preferred a diamond, but we'll take a river bluff. Would you ever rip it in with 10s live? There's definitely more 3-betting in online poker than there is in live poker generally. So I would be a little bit less willing, but it depends. It depends on the situation. There was also a caller on the button, so it made it more profitable for him to squeeze there. Maybe. Just sneezed, excuse me. Pretty tough spot here. We have 2 9s, we have a diamond, so we block 8, 9, and we block flush draws. And we overbet the turn, which makes it harder for him to raise as a bluff. So all that adds up to, I guess, a fold. I'll get after it with the 3-6 versus the limp. Let's do it. All right, we'll take it down to 6 high. Three bet with ace, also known as aces. I predict he calls. He raises. All right, we're going to flat. We're going to get it in on any flop. We got ourselves a winner. Interesting hand here. I see bet the flop he called. On the turn, we make 2 pair and he leads out. I just flat call. Get some value in with 2 pair on the river. Okay, here's the damage. 37.74. So what did we say? We were at like 4,080 or something like that. So we lost like $300. Got wrecked. That's some wreckage. for 25.50 cent. 6 buy-ins. Punished. We got punished. Let's go full screen. Another day in the life of online poker. So I think we're down over the past 3 days. I think we're down about $100. I think I won about $100 the first night, maybe a little less than 100 the second night, and we lose 300 tonight. So that adds up to minus $100. So we'll try and get them next time. Try and do better. Thanks for being here. Try and run better. Try and have some aces hold up, and we'll try and crack some aces rather than doing the opposite of that tonight. Hope you guys stay well, stay healthy. Maybe I'm not sure if I'll stream tomorrow. If I keep these streams pretty short, I should be able to do them pretty regularly. So I like this little 2-hour window. Keep it short and sweet. I mean, I don't know how sweet losing $300 at 25.50 cent is, but what can you do? Fun anyway. All right, guys. Have a good night. Enjoy your time at home, and I will see you guys very, very soon. All right. Take care, guys.